I just got this out of the cupboard and it's like completely dirty. Doug, he was the dish cleaner last night. I'll be back. Welcome back to Maxi's Kitchen. It is amazing to have you here. Today I'm gonna show you how to make my grandpa's Korean vegetable pancakes. I always remember whenever my grandpa would come to town, this was something that I would look forward to because they were always so delicious. I put my own little spin on them and made them easier to make with ingredients from just like the regular American store. So I hope you love them. They are so easy, so delicious, and they're healthy too. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make our batter. Super easy, just 3 ingredients. It's gonna be a cup of flour, ½ teaspoon kosher salt. And one thing is, just for you to know in cooking in general, different salt has different saltiness levels. So kosher salt's actually much less salty than a table salt. So in my recipes, I always use diamond crystal kosher salt actually. So I always just wanna say that in case I don't want you to make your food too salty if you're using a different kind of salt. Okay, TED Talk over. So mix together the dry ingredients, and then we're gonna add a cup of water. Super, super easy batter. And I always like to make this first because then I'll just add the vegetables directly in. Just go ahead and mix that up. Try to get all the clumps out. Okay, now we're gonna chop up all our veggies for the filling, starting with our leek greens. And this recipe, I'm sure I already told you in the intro, but it's my grandfather's recipe. And he actually came to me during a dream. I feel like he did. I don't know if you believe in things like that, but I feel like he came to me during a dream a few months ago and reminded me of this recipe and like told me to remake it. It's become one of my most viral recipes on Instagram and most popular recipes. So I feel like that was my grandpa, Young Park, bringing me this recipe. So go ahead and chop up your leek greens. And in his recipe, he actually used Asian chives, but you have to go to a kind of Korean or Chinese market for those. I adapted the recipe and made it with ingredients that are readily available at just like a normal American store. And for this recipe, because I do want the ratios to be right, the ratios of batter versus filling, I'm gonna measure and stick with the measurements that I put in the recipe just so that we get it right. So we'll just go ahead and scoop those up and into the batter. Okay, the next ingredient is a ½ cup of carrot, which I already measured. Easy trick for this is just buy the shredded carrot, or else you can just get a carrot and grate it, but this is much faster. You know, I'm always trying to be efficient. So now we're gonna add our scallions. I like cutting down kind of the middle to break up the base, just like this, cut down the middle, and then cut off the root. You don't wanna cut too much off at the root because that's actually where most of the flavor comes from, but cut off that. I need a garbage bowl. Usually what I do, it's not very pretty, is I just like take one of these shopping bags and lay it out on the counter like that. We'll do it just so you can see how I really cook, even though it looks messy. And then we're just cutting these in like about 1-inch sections. And those go into the bowl. Okay, I decided this is too ugly to keep here. Okay, now for the red cabbage. I have to say, I swear cabbage like expands in size once you cut it, because I always feel like I'm not gonna have enough and then it blows up. So this was just a tiny little piece and I kind of have a feeling it might be a ½ cup, but let's see. It blew up. I knew it would. Okay, am I right? Moment of truth. Oh my gosh, I think it's exactly a ½ cup, you guys. It's like a teeny bit more even. I'm telling you, craziness. We're good though, we're going in with it. The last thing, I forgot how easy this is because I film everything for Instagram and it takes me so long because I have to get like shots of everything. So now we're doing a jalapeno. I don't know, does that jalapeno like freak anybody else out? I'm like always worried that I'm going to like pet my dog and burn her or something with the spiciness because it does stick on your hands. So sometimes I do the jalapeno with gloves on, but didn't want to bring out the blue glove for this video because it's not cute. But just cut these in strips and then we're gonna cut them in 1-inch pieces. And I think you saw me do it, but I don't know if I said to remove the seeds just because, or else it'll be super spicy. These go in. I even surprised myself with how easy that is. Chop everything up, put it in the batter, and now we're just mixing it together. And did you guys notice I got my hair cut? I had a little bit of a mini panic attack right after I got it cut because I'm a long hair gal and it felt really short, but I'm happy because I was like also worried my hair was thinning because I feel like it just the ends got so like dead that I thought it was thinning, but now I'm like, I think it's okay. So I'm glad I got it cut. I was a little shocked at first, but Feels good. Okay, great. So here's our batter, just kind of coating the vegetables. There's not a ton of extra, but it's definitely enough where it kind of holds together. So that's it, and then let's make the sauce next. Okay, so for the sauce, it's kind of a ponzu sauce. That's what my grandfather used to serve with these. And a ponzu is where you mix like soy sauce and citrus, like lemon, and some other ingredients too. I think there's different ways to make it, but we're gonna add just about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Another little tip for you is usually a lemon has 2 to 3 tablespoons of juice in it. A tablespoon is about half a lemon if it's a smaller one. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I always get Kikkoman soy sauce. I like that brand. And then I actually keep this little thing and refill it and keep this closer to like my stove, and then I keep like a big one in the back. A tablespoon of sesame oil, and if you're ever at an Asian store, get a high quality sesame oil. I can't even read what it's called, but this one's really good if you ever see it. We're gonna add about a teaspoon of sesame seeds, and then my grandpa always used to add just a little bit of water, like a teaspoon, to the sauce. I just got this out of the cupboard and it's like completely dirty. Doug, he was the dish cleaner last night. I'll be back. Okay, and we're back. Now just whisk up your sauce. Okay, let's taste it, make sure we're good. Very good. Thank you, Grandpa. All right, folks, welcome to the stove. Good to have you here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some avocado oil to a pan. It's preheating over like medium-high heat. And one thing I was gonna say is the reason why I like using avocado oil when I'm doing things that are a little higher smoke point. Okay, this isn't supposed to be happening. It's because I used a dirty tablespoon measure and there was water in it and now it's sizzling, but it's okay. Anyways, I'm not sure if I finished that I'm not sure if I finished that thought. Boom! But what I was saying is avocado oil has a higher smoke point than like an olive oil, for example. So I like to use it when I'm cooking with a little bit of like something where I need a little bit of a higher smoke point, or it's gonna be on a hot pan or whatnot. Okay, so now what I've done is I'm measuring out about a 1/4 cup so that these are all uniform. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put those down on the pan. A more authentic Korean way to do this actually is making one big pancake, but this is the Maxi's Kitchen modern version. But typically the way that like my grandfather made them and the way that they're authentically made is in one large pancake. So just go ahead and dollop these on. And then if the oil you see is like pooling in one area, you can kind of just rotate the pan a little bit. And I'm gonna get a plate lined with paper towel because that's where we're gonna put them when we take them off. And they cook pretty fast. We're really just looking for the outside to be golden brown because the inside doesn't need to cook too much. You really wanna have some of that chew and that crunch from the vegetables. And if you made it this far in the video, I love ya. Okay, so these are now golden brown. We're just gonna flip them. And the other thing about the little ones is like they're cute because little things are cute, but they're also easier to manage than like some big pancake. And I feel like the presentation is nice. And again, just a couple more minutes on this side until the bottom is a little golden. And actually at this point, since the pan is already hot, I'm gonna turn the heat down to like a medium or even a medium low just so it doesn't get out of control and things start burning. Just because I looked at this one and it was starting to get a little more brown than the last side. That's a good thing to keep in mind just when cooking anything is once your pan heats up and it's already hot, you can lower the heat just so it doesn't start like getting out of control and crazy. All right, so those guys look done to me. So now we're just gonna put them on a paper towel lined plate to drain. I put that one on last, so. And now just repeat with the next batch. Okay, let's see how they turned out this time. Into the sauce we go. I'll try not to drip on myself. They have this like crisped edge that's so delicious with the crunchy vegetables. And then they get this really nice chewiness from the batter. You get that flavorful sauce, like just so good. I love like the crunchy vegetables with the chewiness from the batter, that little crisp on the outside. Everything is so, so good. I really hope you try this one. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm sending you tons of love. Like and subscribe and come back next week for more videos. Sending lots of love.